Hi, I'm Jamie, welcome to the PMR workshops. The problem you have on occasion is the PMR Pinion support sleeve, don't know if you can all see that there, sometimes will not slide down here into the support area where it is needed. The reason for this is the top of the shaft here, the metal shaft, this internal metal shaft, gets what's known as a mushrooming effect. The support pinion, this little puppy here, will not slide onto here. What you have to do is undo the two screws that hold the plate on. And I would point out, I have started at the point where you would already be at with the instructions that are given with the pinion support sleeve, and you would have already taken the side plate off, you would have already taken the handle off, or as you can see, the handle on mine, and this is my reel, yes, I am using a power handle. Now, having taken the two screws off, there, lift it up gently. The reason you lift it up gently, there is a fibre washer in here which goes and covers the top of the open bearing here. If I turn that like that, you can see the open bearing, and there is the fibre washer, there we go, which has to go on top of there. But the best way to fit that is to actually stick your finger, little finger, in there, like so. You can see that. And then put the fibre washer in, so it's about halfway in. And we'll come back to that in a little while. But the other thing you have to remember when you take the plate off is there are two springs. These two springs are not always put in as far as they could be put in, and what tends to happen is the spring disappears off into the distance and you never find it again. So, having got the brake plate out, and I would mention here I am actually using a 7HT Millionaire, lift up the main gear, which is what the pinion support is for, and you will find that pinion support will just slide straight into there. I'll do that again. It will slide straight into there. Now, if it doesn't slide straight into there, which has happened once or twice in the past, take a file like this. This is a needle file, a round needle file, about 7mm in diameter, and just file down a little bit and open it a little bit up here at the top if it needs it. And again, make sure it just slides straight in, straight out. Now, the main problem is this metal shaft here. Now what happens is, if I can hold that up, and I will get a close-up of this later, is this piece here, right on the end, right next to where the circlip is, and if you notice there's quite a big area for that circlip to go on, or C-clip to go on, because also there is a little brass bush that goes on there. The little brass bush is just simply to stop movement, and it's because this gallery here has been cut too wide. Let's put that back in. There you go. So what we do here is test this, and if this will not go on, the rest of the shaft is the right diameter, but the top part isn't. So therefore, take a piece of emery paper, sandpaper, hold the top, and just turn. Doing this for about 3 or 4 minutes would normally be enough to clean that up. If you're a little bit proactive and you'd like to get it done as quickly as possible, a flat needle file like this, and just very gently all the way round, just taking tiny little bit off, and then you will find, once you've cleaned it, that your brass support bush will eventually slide on. And once it slides on, you'll see here, it's a very loose fit. And all it is cleaning up this top piece here. So once again, you would use a file, gently all the way around with a file, or using a little piece of sandpaper. This is about 120 grit, I think. Just grab hold of the top and turn. Do it for a minute or so. Clean it to make sure that the filings are all off, and then take your support and make sure your support slides down where it should. Now, when I'm making this on, putting this on YouTube, because we have a lot of people abroad that I can't just phone up, and emails never quite explain exactly what's going on. So this is why I've made this video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this all back together again, and I'm going to run the video while I do it. I'm trying to get this thing in the centre. Right, pinion, make sure that your brake is, notch brake is in the back, is in. If it's not, you've got two pieces of metal. Make sure that they're pinched together, and that those two pieces of metal there slide across either side of the last cog. Then we'll slide the cog down on the pinion, making sure that the brake goes on its pinion. You can check that by turning it and make sure that it sits in place. Having got it in place, make sure that there's two springs are where they should be, that your fibre bush is where it should be, and then just slide the top back on and it will click into place. The springs are holding it, so you have to push it down. Put the screws, side plate screws in. Okay, it's one. And that's two. Okay, so they're in as they should be. Then take the star drag. Put the star drag on, and it will go down and seal the fibre bush. And now all you have to do, put the pinion in like so. Having got the pinion in, you take the C-clip and push that C-clip in, bearing in mind that at this point you don't need the other brass washer that originally was there to stop movement, because the PMR brass pinion with the head on the pinion is the same size as the original brass bush or brass washer that was put in there as an added extra to stop the movement. There is no movement. There is no sideways movement. Everything is in. So all we need to do now is put on the spring for the handle. And these are the old handles. I don't use these anymore, except on a couple I use for fishing. I use the double paddle handles on all the new ones. Goes in like that. And then screw down. Normally I don't use a big tool like this, but I'm in the small office, and in the small office unfortunately I don't have what I would call the right tool, so a British spanner. And the lock, like that, and the screw. There you go. There she is, ready to put back onto the cage in your reel with 3 screws.